Okay, day 40 with Task Force Part 2. We're going to now explore kind of disruption and light, low intensity type disruption in people's lives as once they become whistleblowers. And I'm going to turn the camera back to Task Force again. And would you say that that light, maybe it wasn't light in your case, but harassment and disruption is a part of how whistleblowers are treated?
Yes. Once you become it doesn't even need to be a public whistleblower, but once you take a stand against high-ranking officials, especially if you are in possession of information that could harm them or could prevent a promotion, something like that.
Now, you were involved in a kind of a power struggle, and you were being used as a pawn in a power struggle. We'll leave it there. Leave it there. So your lawsuit basically came out of being used as a pawn.
Used as a pawn, and them not treating my injury appropriately because.
But you didn't sue because of the fact that you were injured.
Not initially. I sued because I was being harassed.
Right.
For speaking out the truth.
Right.
About problems within,
People were pushing you to rat out one guy versus the other,
yes.
and you were being
yes,
used as a pawn.
Manipulated and used as a pawn for positional power.
That's probably at this point all we need to know, that it was a valid claim.
Yes.
You were injured on the you were chasing a parolee.
Mm-hmm.
They were jumping fences.
Yes.
The person finally climbed a roof and waited for you, and then jumped down and injured you. So you were definitely injured on the job.
Yes.
With a police report was filed about that.
And major surgery was a result of that injury.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is not a slip and fall case.
No.
At all. Yeah.
No,
I know. I've seen your medical records.
lot of metal in my spine to prove that. Yes.
Yeah. So so I just want everyone to know that this is an officer was hurt severely on the job. The lawsuit was not related to that, and there was reprisals because of that. So at this point, I think that's probably enough to say. I didn't mention in the last video that your husband was also a police officer.
Yes.
And he was kind of running interference for you.
Yes.
In this case, and then that's how he ended up maybe dead 2 weeks before your testimony.
We're not sure. He was my fiance, so I just want to clarify that. But he was the one person that not only was standing up, he was an eyewitness to many of these things.
Yeah, an eyewitness.
So he was being retaliated against while working by harassment. That's what they do, is they go out and harass and judge everything that you've ever done or everything you've written.
And I just want to say here that you are a strong supporter. You were obviously a leader in the police unions. You were Police Officer of the Year.
Yes.
We won't say all the different awards, but I've seen all these different awards. So you were quite well known. So it's very surprising to me, I guess, that you were quite as well known as you were in the state of California, and there was reprisals even against you.
Yes.
So that surprises me.
Yeah.
I just want to encourage you to speak with Robin Gritz. I also would encourage you to maybe go on a show like Crowdsource the Truth with Robin. You would obviously not have your face there, so forth, but I'm not affiliated with Jason in any way at Crowdsource the Truth, but I do think that, or maybe in One America Network or some other kind of network. Has any other major news outlet interviewed you?
No, local news did at the time, and there were local news reports and cameras and stuff at the time, but there was a significant pushback by the powers that be to keep this under wraps and to not allow the true story to come out.
Okay. So I think at that point, I don't mean to speak for any other channel and make any recommendations. I just think when I say that, I mean like a 60 minutes type format where we could really get into the details. But and my format's obviously much shorter and briefer. But you will be at the one. I better not say that. Okay.